Hey guys, in the last tutorial we have created this sign up activity, and before that we have also created a login activity. So I'll just show you what we have done so far. We have created this login activity and now it is not connected to any database, so we are just inserting some values here, and if we click on login it will show this username, welcome DHJ, and if we click on sign up here button, then this activity will open up, and here nothing is getting stored in the database. We are only checking if the passwords match or not. So if I insert two password values which are not equal, so and if I click on sign up, then it will show passwords don't match. So in this video I'll show you how to connect it to database, and I'll be using SQLite database. So just let's get started. Open this file if you haven't created it, and if you want to know how to do it, then I'll put the links on the screen and also in the description bar below. You can. Now we'll need to create a contact class. So right click here and click on new Java class and name it contact and click OK. Just see what we need for contact. We'll need name, email address, username and password, and I'll also assign one ID. So I'll write int ID, then string name, email address, so email, username and password, and I'll create methods for each of these. So I'll create method for get ID, set ID, get name, set name, like this. So write public void set ID. We'll take any integer value and we'll assign it to this ID. So this dot ID is equal to ID, and similarly public int get ID. This method will return one integer value, that's why its return type is int, and it will return ID. This dot ID. Similarly, we'll create it for name. So public void set name, and we'll take a string value, string name. This dot name equals name. Then public string get name. Its return type will be string because name's data type is string, and it will return this dot name. You can write it like this. Then I'll just copy these two and here I'll change name to email, and I'll take an email and I'll write this dot email equals email. Same here, write get email this dot email. It will be uname and uname, and the last one, this is also uname, and we will need it one more time for password. So set password string pass, this dot pass equals pass, and here get pass and return this dot pass, like this. So our contact class is done. It will only contain these methods: set id, get id, set name, set email, get email. So we'll need one more class which will be which will extend the SQLite Open Helper class. We'll need one more class which will extend SQLite Open Helper class. So right click and click on new Java class and write database helper and OK. And it will extend, write extends SQLite Open Helper. So when you extend any class with SQLite Open Helper, it needs to be implemented. Two methods need to be implemented here, on create, and so you can do that here. Implement these two methods, on create and on upgrade. So in on create method, we'll need to create the database. So first we'll create variables. So write private int final, private static final int, and it will be id, it will be database version, and make it equal to 1 or 2, whatever you want. Then private static final string database name. I'll make the database name equal to contacts.db. Make sure your database name has .db extension. Then I'll just copy this one. We'll need a table name, so write table name, and it will be contacts, and we'll need columns. So column id, it will be id, then column name, column email, column uname, and column pass, and it will be equal to name, email, uname, and pass. Now we'll need a query. You can write it here or inside the on create table. I'll write it here. So private static final string table create. And we'll write a basic query: create table name. So you'll need to write this name. You can write it like this, or you can do this, use this variable table name. I'll make it simple for you. Just write it like this. Make sure it is equal to this one and this. Then id, it will be, the data type will be integer, and it will be the primary key, which will be not null, and it will auto increment. Then the next one is name. It will be text, and it will be not null. Then email, text, not null. Uname, text, not null. Pass, text, not null. And after this, we'll execute this query here. So write exdb, this variable name, .exec, execute SQL, and write this table create. I'll declare this variable here. So SQLite database db, and I'll make it this .db equals db. Now inside the upgrade you can drop this table and again execute on create method. So write string query drop table if exists and table name, so it will be table name, and after that we'll need to execute it. So write db.exe execute sql and query, so it will execute this query, and after that we need to call on create method. So this dot on create, and we need to pass this database here like this. Now we need to create a constructor to this class, that is database helper. So when you create a constructor, there is no return type. Remember, for constructor there is no return type. That is the only difference between a constructor and a method or a function. So write public database helper, that is the class name. It should be same as the class name. It will take an object of context. So write context, and we need to import this. So I'll just hit alt enter and it will get imported, and inside this we need to write super, and it takes 4 parameters: context, then database name, factory, and database version. So first will be this context, database name will be database name variable, I'll use that one, then factory will be null, and database version will be this database version. So I'll just check if there are no errors. As you can see here, if something is in red, that means there is an error. Now I'll stop here. In the next part of this tutorial, we'll create insert and search methods. Insert method will be used for sign up. So whenever a user signs up, it will get inserted. And search method will be used for login activity. So if a user enters the username and password, it will search for that username and it will find the respective password, and if it is matching, then the user can sign up. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and make sure to hit the like button. Bye.